I feel like the Blink-182 album cover. Right, today is Tuesday, we're in Essex and we're fitting another Andersen. Currently at the job trying to plan clever routes. We've had a few people mention how they'd like to see more straightforward how we actually approach a job rather than just kind of the best bits. So I thought I'd actually show you the full process. The first step would be find out where the consumer unit is, because obviously that's where we're getting power from, and then find out where the car charger's been fitted. Super lovely customer, already loaded up with coffees and things. Their preference is that it goes here, which I agree makes a lot of sense, because then if you have the Volvo, for example, you've got the charger port right round on the other side, or if you've got the Tesla, obviously it's around that side. So then that way you're kind of covered on both eventualities. So we've got the route now just to think about. If we mount the charger there, obviously we want to come into the reverse of the charger itself. So you want to measure centre of the pier, just offset, it will come through there. And there is electrics on this side of the wall, but we should quite easily be able to dodge them. So have a look. It's going to be tricky for the cameraman to get in here. See if you can see a good, sensible route that you would take as a Sparky apprentice. The consumer unit is the other side of that wall there in the house. In fact, I'll show you where the consumer unit is quickly. Sorry, the cameraman's having to do some proper acrobatics. So it's just inside here. So we've got this old MEM board, which fortunately, spare way just there. So we can pop that out. What I'm thinking is we're going to drill out the back. This is actually not the front door of the property. It's confusing because it looks like it because there's cars there, but the entrance is actually a story above. What they've basically said to us is they don't really mind any cables being routed here. I wanted to try and get inside that box in there, but I think between the garage and the main section of the house there's like a fire break, which I don't really want to cut through if I can help it. So they're quite happy for us to come out the back of the consumer unit up, along and round. I want to try and avoid as much of the visible sides as possible. So what I was thinking originally was I'm going to drill at an angle into the garage and then run it on the rear, drop it down and poke it through. However, there's a load of pipes boxed into that corner. I've not drilled through a pipe yet in my career, and I do not plan on today being the day that I start. So what I'm thinking instead is come up, along, avoid that, drill through there, poke out here somewhere, along and just straight in somewhere near that downpipe, and I can see where these data cables come in and it's pretty clear. We'll just come along through and then clip it to the underside of that boxing, drop it down on the inside and poke it out. That's the cable route I'm thinking. So we're just going to get straight onto it. So step one, PPE. I can't stress it enough, protect your ears. Like I've got friends with tinnitus. It's really not nice. For the sake of 2 minutes walking to the van and grabbing them, just do it, man. Right, so we're going to drill out the back of this board. Obviously, it's a very busy board, so a little tip, which I actually think I learned off of Jordan on one of my first weeks with him, is to get a piece of conduit, just slightly wider than the width of your drill bit, and you want to find a nice section that you want to go out, push all the cables out the way, and what you can do is you can check you're not catching anything. You can actually look down the pipe. Yeah, we're clear. So now I know that when I slide my drill bit down there, I'm not going to be hitting anything important. And then, can I just turn my hoover on, please? Another little tip, you always want to be drilling slightly downhill when you're drilling outside. Because we're undercover here anyway, so it doesn't really matter, but it's a good habit to be in, because say damp or moisture or water or anything wicks down the cable, it stops it coming inside, flowing down with the capillary effect, whatever it is. Instead, it's going to be kind of flowing out that way. The reason why I've just turned it off of hammer mode as well is because it's quite nice brickwork the other side, and I don't want to pop the drill bit. I'm trying to aim for the mortar line, but I don't think I'm going to hit the mortar line. I'll kind of tend to drill with hammer mode on through most of the way, and then just when I'm nearly there, I'll switch it just to drill. I hoover whilst I drill because I find it easier to work clean. It means when you finish at like 4 or 5 o'clock, you're not then spending an hour tidying up. It's like you're already clean. Darn it. Confession, we've still popped the brick a little bit, which is really annoying, because I turned it off hammer mode just to let it eat its way out, but it still just popped through slightly. But I think when you've got such a long drill bit as well, and it's wiggling and pushing its way through, it just happens. But it's okay, because this means I can show you my little tip to hide it when you pop bricks. So I'm just going to get the other holes drilled first.
Here we have a Spidicus maximus. You can tell that by the number of legs it has. Most spiders have 9 legs. This one looks like it may have lost its 9th leg in a fight.
So we've got something fun for later. We've got this bad boy and that. Customers just bought the house and just moved in, hence all the cardboard boxes. And they said they don't know where the key is to this or this. They never got it given to them. So they've asked me if while I'm here I can quickly remove it for them. And I said, well, we're not a locksmith company, you know, what do you take us for? However, I am young and I like playing with angle grinders, so absolutely I would be my total pleasure to remove that for you. And I want to see how long it takes as well to get it off. Choose my lovely Bosch drill bits. Bosch, I have noticed that you've got a thing going where you're looking for people to test your power tools. I'm not, you know, obviously I wouldn't be abusing the platform that has been handed to me by Jordan for my own personal gain, but if you need someone. But what I'm going to do with my lovely Bosch drill bit, DeWalt power tool, nearly lost my ear there, because it's a bit of a tight corner where it's going to go round and in, I don't want to just take it round and have like a horrible tight bend on the cable, because we use MYJ. It's not the most hardy cable ever either. So I'm just going to take the corner of that mortar out. Like Michelangelo with a chisel, and he was the Olympic diver, wasn't he? Not many people are aware of this, but Michelangelo actually was nobody before the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There's my Sistine Chapel. Let's see where we've come out on the other side, shall we? Well, you've already seen it, I've not. Oh, perfect. Great. God, we should consider quitting our job and just like doing electrics, you know. We're getting quite good at this. I hate to blow my own trumpet. God, they've got a lot of stuff in this garage. They've just moved house, so I'm not calling them out for it. I'm just saying we have got a lot of stuff to work around. This is a alligator circumcision tool. Oh, wrong side. Well, there we go. Guys, buy better padlocks if you're going to protect your shed. If I was a thief right now, you'd be in trouble. I could quite easily drill that lock, but I don't want to blunt all my nice new drill bits. I might just cut the lock clean in half. No, I don't know. The trouble is I've got crud angle grinder blades. If I do that, then I'm going to have no blade left in 5 minutes. Because Bosch didn't send us any angle grinder blades. Come to think of it, Bosch haven't sent us anything. But I hear that Bosch are looking for a new tester to test their power tools. So I'm just going to chuck it out there, not abusing my platform that I've been given. Bosch. Right, let's see if this little drum is enough to see us through. I don't like having loads of little scrappy bits of cable. Oh, it'll do it. It'll do it. Sweet. Oh my goodness, that was funny. I just got a very concerned look. But a lady come back and started walking up the stairs. I thought she was the customer. So I just went, oh, I've just cut the padlock off. She goes, lets herself in quickly. Get yourself out there. There we go, we have a blank now. Right, so I've got my 32 amp MCB. Clip that bad boy on there. Sweet. Potatoes. I clip the thing onto the ladder, and then I can just access everything from the ladder. I love it. So we just want to make sure we're not catching any of the bus bars wrong. I'm just going to shine my torch on there. It's probably been the tool of the day before, and it will be tool of the day many times after, but these mirrors, insulated mirrors, are absolutely fantastic for just checking things for a bit of reassurance. Yeah, they're good. We're going to use our fully insulated pliers. Also another great tool. So, you know, nobody likes blowing up on consumer units. It's not on a Tuesday morning. We've got the MCB in, so the power can come back on now. I've got the cable run. Oh no, I think that has been through the wash. Oh, it has. Oh dear me. So I had some chewing gums in my pocket, and I was trying to work out if they've been through the wash or not. And they have. They taste terrible. They taste like soap. So it goes out and through. So it goes along, swoops up there, down the wall, nice amount of slack, out and through. I'm going to show you a cool trick right now, actually. So what you need is essential that it's from Marks and Spencer's, otherwise it's not going to work. Our cameraman is an absolute snob, so tends to only eat from there. I've got an idea. Basically, I'm going to pulverise these slightly. That didn't go to plan. It's okay. Doesn't always. I'm going to do it inside this glove just to stop it smashing everywhere. Imagine like you're making a cheesecake out of bricks. It's a prison cheesecake. Earthy. Have you got any toilet wine to go with this? Any toilet wine? No? That'll get us started. Right. I want to try and hide this brick pop. Brick pop, that sounds like a disgusting flavour of lolly, doesn't it? So this stuff is like ready-made mortar. It dries pretty much the same colour as most standard mortar. Right, so I'm going to overfill it like that. So I want to smush it into the hole, like so. And then I'm going to spread it out slightly over where I've popped the brick, like that. Do you see where I'm going, Nathan? Mm-hmm. The gist of what I'm trying to do basically is I'm trying to kind of paint this red with the same colour as what's on the wall, so that the brick pop just blends right in. Now the colour is kind of in the brick. Just looks a heck of a lot better than silicone when you pop a brick. That brick pop has completely disappeared now. As it dries, it will just blend in more. It will sort of age with the brick. This is my tidy van. I got this on eBay. This is actually from my old van, but I just stuck it on the door because I didn't think Jordan would have a problem with it. I had a good old tidy up the other day and it's looking a million times better. But my little tool bag sits in there. I've got, actually no, I feel like I'm just outlaying a map for the thieves. Like when you break in, all the valuables are there. Some valuables are there. Probably don't want to waste your time at the back there. That'll be a waste of time. No, I'm not doing a van tour. I'm not even going to show them the hidden security features. There's hundreds of hidden security features and they're booby traps galore. Andersen, you need to up your stuffing land game. Look. No chance of fitting that through. The Whisker stuffing lands are the best because they're just massive. They've got such a big opening on them. You can fit much bigger cables through. And it saves you using a 25mm. It just looks a bit nicer because the only part of this really that needs to be IP rated is this little section here. It needs stuffing land equality. Andersen, sort it out, please. Thank you.
That part's too loud.
Right, we are wired up, so we've got it into the board, just labelled it EV, standing for electric vehicle, and filled in our little mortar pot there, going through. Starting to dry nicely. You can start to see how the colour does match when it dries. That's a pretty close match, isn't it? We're just wiring up the charger now. So we've done some of our basic tests. We've got our ZE, all our external stuff. I just need to do the actual tests on the unit now itself, checking the RCD and things. So hopefully that's been fairly helpful to some of the people. Just I've tried to answer some of the specific questions that we've had, like how we decide cable routes and that kind of thing. There's no real rhyme or reason. It's just finding the best way to do it, the most efficient and safe way of doing things. Annoyingly, it is sometimes the case that you finish a job, you look at a picture and you go, man, why didn't I do it that way? But hindsight is 20/20, so that's why I like to, like I say at the start, just take a step back from a job, look at it as objectively as I can before starting it, so that I don't have those PJRs, post-job regrets. Stick that on a plaque. So we'll get this thing set up and then we'll get some nice artsy shots of it. Drilling compound, it just saves the bit when you're drilling something really tough. Sugar, I lost my bit. Well, that is a inconvenience. What bits are these? I could quite easily drill that lock. I'm just doing the certificate while Nathan's dog sitting. My least favourite part of every job. I hate all the paperwork. One good thing about being employed, I'm forced to do it. When I was doing like subby work and self-employed and things, I'd procrastinate it so much, and then you end up with like 100 to do at the end of the month. Whereas now Jordan will actually chase me up, so I'm just cracking on with it. Find the unit very clunky when it comes to testing and resetting. Like the Zappies, you just hold down the little pizza box and it's done, whereas this is just a right faff sometimes. Ready to charge. Pilot fault. Great. Go back. Great, lovely stuff. So I'm happy with that now. I've done all the RCD tests. I'm happy with the finish of the job. This is it finished now. Just a really nice tidy job, as you've seen, the cable entry and things in the back. The lead should comfortably reach both sides. Park the Tesla up in a second, we'll get it charging. The cable runs inside the garage, pokes out there, back to the consumer unit. Consumer unit's all labelled up, it's all tested. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, stay safe. I hope everyone's enjoying being able to travel a little bit more and see family and things again. And I'll see you on the next one.